Initially, process automation was started because there were employees that were dealing with dangerous machinery. And so they developed these processes in order to keep their employees safe around big industrial equipment. Now, process automation includes software and robotics, and this goes into all sorts of industries: medical, packaging, manufacturing. The sky's the limit now for robotics. Since 2010, PSI has been making products for the robotics industry. We do sheet material. Customers will take that, cut it down, and they will use them for fingers on the robots because of the grip that the urethane provides. Then we also have a medical company that's located here in Austin. We make the wheels for their robots. It's a very interesting robotic application. I wish I could share it with you. However, we have non-disclosure agreements and I'm unable to do that. Then we have other companies who have come to us and they either want pad material or they want discs that are bonded to metal parts. They use these as vibration dampeners for their robots because, as you can guess, as the robot moves, depending upon what it is doing, there's a lot of vibration on the inside and you need a material in there that's going to absorb that shock, and the urethane allows for that. There's some key points to consider whenever it comes to polyurethane and your robotics needs. One of those is definitely because of the size, the motion and movement, the pivot of the robots, is your compression deflection. Obviously, at some point in there, there's going to be some compression of parts. Urethane is great for these applications simply because they compress and they deflect because they're elastomers. The type of robot that the material is going to go on, that has a lot to do with what formula we are going to use. It also has to do with your durometer. For the fingers of the robot, you're going to want something tacky. So that would be a lower durometer. So when it comes to robotics, and let's say our tubing or our pad material or our sheet material for that matter, when somebody comes to us, if they're in the preliminary stages, they'll suggest thickness or an ID/OD that they think is going to work for their material. If you need something different than what we have and what we call quote-unquote standard, you can do a custom thickness, you can do a custom ID/OD, and or a formulation. We would need to know, is that going to come into contact with anything sharp? If it is, then we have to give you an ester because of the tear resistance. Is there going to be abrasion involved? So these are things that formulation-wise we need to know about. Companies that should look at PSI for their robotic needs would be like conveyor systems, the automotive industry, airline industry, your food processing plants, because we have FDA materials for that. We have industry-leading support. We have over 100 formulations. We have product support. And when it comes to materials, we cannot be beat on longevity of parts.